Every relationship needs some kind of structure to it, some ways to define the relationship. I mean, even us as friends, we have things we hold in common. We're both brass players. We've both been music ministers. We both have a bunch of kids that we love. So and we've involved them in our music ministry. We have a lot of things in common, and there's some differences between us also. And so those things define your relationship, and then if I did all the talking and you did all the listening, it would be a pretty boring thing for you. I would love it, but it'd be awful for you. Vice versa, with the same kind of thing. So our relationships need some kind of framework of some sort. I would submit that every church has a form, whether the form has been thought out, or whether it's intentional or unintentional. They all have a form. Even the quiet traditions, like the Quaker tradition, they have a form. And if they don't, a form will emerge, and always does. Right. So what our position is to try to be intentional about that, and try to be biblical about how you go about doing, how you go about thinking about and creating the formal structure of that relationship. Now, if the structure, as Richard Foster would say, if the structure gets in the way of worship, do away with the structure. The point is to participate in God's story, but even God's story has a structure to it, as all stories do. Right. And so to understand that and participate in that, I think helps to define how we go about the relationship. There is a God, and it's not either one of us. So and He creates all through Scriptures ways in which we are to approach Him. And so there's already structure there, even in Scripture. For example, when the covenant was cut with Moses on Sinai, what sealed the covenant? They had a meal together on Mount Sinai. When the Jews celebrate the Exodus event, what is it that seals that story? Well, it's the Seder meal together, when they eat together and they celebrate the Exodus event. So there are structures to all those kinds of stories, and likewise we have a structure. And to say we don't have a structure is really to be in denial. There's always a structure somewhere hiding in the bushes. And so what we try to encourage people is to try to be intentional about that. Reality is most of our students do come out of more contemporary churches, and so they're and I think sometimes the challenge for them is to think how to do this more intuitively, intentionally but intuitively, which can be very powerful with the congregation, where there's formation taking place within the congregation, but the congregation might not even be aware of how they're being formed, but just that they're being formed into Christ-likeness. And the structure helps us to accomplish that. Right.